So it seems this road is open. I tried to run it last week, but I only got about 300 metres and I had to turn around. I ran it a few weeks ago. I'm sure I never run it again. But let's see, because I'm a little bit earlier. Traffic seems to be okay. If it gets bad. Hi, Peggy! If the traffic gets too bad, then I'll just take a detour. Sort of roughly know the area now, although we'll still get lost. This road is quite busy, so maybe I might regret coming this way now. But let's see. I can always turn back or take a diver if I have to. So this is one of the bits that I don't like because it's a bit faster. So they ride quite fast down here. So I need to be extra careful. Beautiful Chantic, hey? So that's 10k. Yeah, a few issues. Better than last week. I'm trying to keep it slower. So I'm aiming for 7:30 pace. I'm averaging about 7:15, which is fine. But it is hard, definitely. So let's see how it goes. I don't have a target. I want to beat more than last week. I've done that already now, just over 10. Run, live, run, yeah. So that's 13 kilometres done. I'm happy because I felt much better than I did last week. I woke up, I didn't feel good, but I never feel good. I hate waking up, yeah. But I felt sick. I thought I was going to throw up, you know, but I didn't have any problems with my stomach, diarrhea, everything was fine. It's just my anxiety and depression, but more anxiety, but I'll talk about that a bit later. But, you know, 13k is much better than last week. I had problems with my hip, sciatic. It came in around about 10k, so a bit later than last time, you know. So maybe I'm starting to win that battle, but I did spray some painkiller in the area before. And again, around about 12k, it started to get a bit painful, so I called it a day at 13. So I'm happy, as I say, that's 3k more than I managed last week. Slightly different route. I'm always up near the stadium in Pangasari Stadium in Chittagong. But I'm not going to probably walk around that today. I'm going to walk back and have a coffee, I think. And maybe get a grab back. So I ran along probably for about 6k along a road that I still never run along again. Last week it was closed. I tried it, but it was closed. But the week before it was just manic. But because I went an hour earlier, I left just after probably 6:15, I think it was. I left. It was okay. You know, it was a few dodgy places, but it wasn't too bad. You know, because I don't want to keep going to the same place every week because you know, I'm not saying it gets boring, but it's more interesting, especially when you're struggling. It's more interesting to keep it varied. So I ran up a road today I've never run up. Hence there's a few train videos you'll see on this as well. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it. But define the word enjoy, yeah? So I want to talk a little bit about anxiety, depression and sport, okay? So having spoken to psychologists and psychiatrists, they do say that having some forms of depression and anxiety can make sport, like running, in my instance, a lot harder, because it just makes you tired, and you lose energy. Now, maybe that's not the case for everybody. Personally speaking, yes, it does make it harder for me. You worry about it. I mean, last night I was worried about running today. My training isn't going very well at all. I'm really worried about finishing marathon that I've got in December, although I've done loads. I work hard. I felt sick this morning. There's nothing wrong with me. I have got some physical injuries, and I've got some issues with my sciatic and my hip. And to be fair, that lasted longer today than last week, so I managed to get 13 kilometres in. So I'm happy with that, and that's good. But it does affect you. It certainly affects me, without any shadow of a doubt. I worry before the run. I worry on the run. Afterwards I feel good. I feel great now. But beforehand I just feel so lousy. When I do a 5 or 6k, I'm generally okay because it's only a 5 or 6k. But this morning I purposely did not set up any goals in my head. I just thought I want to get further than last week. I've got to get more than 10. I ran a marathon last month, but my hips got better, but my sciatic is not getting better, and I'm a little bit worried about that. How much of that is physical, how much of that is mental, I don't know. I think it's a mixture. And I try to be positive when I run, and it gets me round. I would say, even during the run, I have a big issue between 8 and 10k. I suddenly struggle at that point. So today I got to 13, so that's good. That's very good. But let's see. I keep plugging away. I won't give up. I've done longer races than 42, so I know I'll get round in December. But for anyone out there that's got any issues with depression, anxiety, whoever great, whoever worse, great's the wrong word maybe. The sport does help. It really does help. The endorphins make a big difference, especially when you finish the run, or whatever you do. But it can and it will, I think, it will interfere with your times, because you can talk yourself out of doing things. You can say, I can't do any more, when probably you can. It's amazing what I do in a race. I can finish a race okay, but I guess there's a medal at the end, yeah. And today I don't have a target. I just do it. If I don't finish it, no one knows, no one cares. If I don't finish a race, no one probably cares either, but I do. So, if you have got anxiety and depression, keep the sport up. It does help, but don't be surprised if it can also have an impact like a physical injury does. But anyway, run, live, run, yeah.